one game all season as they struggle through this 2012-2013 campaign. Lanphier had a 6-game winning streak snapped last week at Lincoln, and John, they haven't won since. The Lions are struggling at the moment, losing that game at Lincoln and losing 2 in this tournament. So a 3-game losing streak for Lanphier. Somebody's going to break their streak tonight.
It's been a peculiar season for Lanphier. They opened with a very tough game in the Decatur tournament, lost by 19 to a pretty good MacArthur team, but they had no business losing to them by 19. And then they got themselves righted and won their next 2 games in Decatur, won the consolation championship. Then they had a bad stretch at the start of December. They dropped 4 out of 6. And all of a sudden, heading into the Pekin tournament where they were unseeded, and essentially if they had been seeded, it would have been the 13 seed because they got the number 4 seed in that tournament in their first round game. And what did they do the week of Christmas but win 4 straight games, including knocking off 3 of the 4 seeds in the Pekin tournament to win the championship. But since that tournament, they haven't won a game. They're 0-3. And yeah, they're just trying to find some answers now. I don't think you hold last night's game against them. It clearly was an improvement over their performance on Thursday night against Sacred Heart Griffin, but they're going to be mightily disappointed if they don't come out of this week with at least 1 win.
Lions are going to be the road team in this game. They'll wear orange uniforms, and Springfield High going to be in the home white. About 12 minutes away from getting started on the introductions of the lineups, and a 6 o'clock tip is just ahead. Springfield High, Lanphier in the city tournament doubleheader Saturday night opener. We'll be right back with more. Stay tuned. And John Levin, Tim Schweitzer. We're here for final night play of the Boys City Basketball Tournament. Jim Rupert has attendance numbers from the first 2 nights, and a lot of folks have come to watch the city tournament so far. We think there'll be a big crowd here tonight, too.
This is the number that paid, Tim. Actually, there's more than this here. 2672 was our figure from Thursday night, and last night it was 5,204. So we're coming up on 8,000 for the first 2 nights, and we'd hope to increase that by probably 6,000 tonight. It'd be nice.
Yeah. Should be a lot of folks here to watch the late game, Southeast and Sacred Heart Griffin. And generally the student cheering sections, for instance, Springfield High has a lot of students here for this game.
Oh, they stick around.
They stay around because there's a student sportsmanship award given at the end of the evening, and they hope to win that, and so those kids will hang around.
You know, it was last night. And you have been involved in the compilation of the voting for that, Tim, I know.
Yes.
And I know that they've asked us to do it. And when Kevin O'Day asked me, I said, I really don't want to have anything to do with it. I asked Chad yesterday on the press box how they determine that. He would kind of hedge his bets. They're real reluctant to let you know who's determining that.
Yes. It's not only a secret ballot, but it's a secret as to who fills out a ballot. And I can tell you that the 1 year I participated in it, they didn't want anybody to know I was participating in it because they thought they'd give me grief. And I said, I don't care if they give me grief. I'll vote the way I think I should vote, and I'd be happy to defend it if you make public my vote. I don't mind. But they were very hesitant about letting anybody. We had to go back and the little blockhouse back here.
Oh, boy.
Close the door, lock the door. It was quite a production.
Is there any discussion, or is it just write down who you think it is and you're done?
In that evening, there was simply a fill out the ballot. They looked at the ballot, see if they had a clear-cut decision, and they did. So that was it.
Wow. But that is a big part of tonight. That is a major part of what we do on the final night of the city tournament.
The kids have a good time at this event, and winning the sportsmanship award is a big deal.
The Spirit Award.
The Spirit Award.
Yeah.
Spirit and sportsmanship sometimes go hand in hand, sometimes they don't. But we hope they go hand in hand for this 2013 Boys City Basketball Tournament tonight. The officials are here. The teams have been out warming up. We're about 5 minutes away from getting the proceedings started here at the center tonight. Let's take a 1 minute timeout. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask you to please rise for our national anthem. which will be performed this evening by the Sacred Heart Griffin Choir.
Sacred Heart Griffin Choir with the Star Spangled Banner here on this Saturday night. They'll perform it again just before the championship game later on this evening, as Southeastern SHG will play in that one. It's the Senators and the Lions in the first of tonight's city tournament doubleheader. We'll take a 2-minute timeout, and when we're back in 2, we'll tell you who's playing for each of these teams and have the opening tip. Springfield High Lanphier, 2 minutes away.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the center for the third place game of the 2013 Boys City Basketball Tournament between the Lanphier Lions and the Springfield Senators. Here's tonight's starting lineups for the visiting Lanphier Lions. At a guard, 5'10" and a sophomore, number 12, Jordan Tribbett. Also at guard, a 5'7" freshman, 5, Xavier Bishop. At guard, 6'2" junior, number 2, Larry Austin Jr. At 1 forward, number 34, a 6'4" senior, Dwight Bolden. And at the other forward position, a 6'5" junior, 44, Marquise Smith. Head coach of the Lanphier Lions, Blake Turner. Now the starting lineup for the Springfield Senators. At a guard, number 15, 6' senior, Isaiah Nelson. At the other guard position, number 30, a 5'10" freshman, Keon Day. At center, 6'6" and a sophomore, 23, Obadiah Church. At 1 forward, number 11, a 6' senior, Avery Pearl. And at the other forward position, number 25, a 6' senior, Robert Stevens. Head coach of the Senators, Matt Reed. The officials for tonight's game, as assigned by the Central State 8 Conference, Pat Pawnell, Bob Engel, and Dan Snodgrass.
Lanphier 10-8, they're 4-5 in the conference. They are out of the conference chase, having dropped 2 in the city tournament this week. Springfield Senators 1-17. They've been out of the conference chase almost since the start of the CS8 schedule. 1-8 in the conference. This, among the rivalries in the city series all time, is the closest, with Lanphier having beaten the Senators 31 times and the Senators 29 in city tournament play. Pat Pownell will throw the ball up, Jim.
Except for the win over Taylorville when they scored 70. The most points the Senators have scored this year were 64 in the 77-64 loss to Lanphier.
Tribbett drives in left side as Lanphier won the tap. He lost his balance and missed from in tight. The rebound to the Senators. And Isaiah Nelson comes to forecourt, picked up by Austin and the Lions man. That's a matchup worth watching tonight in this third place game. Keon Day to the baseline. High post left to Church. Back to Day. A couple of youngsters there. Day circles in towards the basket. Laid it up on the rim. No good. Rebounded by Bolden, and the Lions in orange are off to the races. Front court right side. Tribbett. A good swing pass onto the baseline. Low to Smith. He got stuffed by Church, but Bolden got the rebound and put it up and in. Dwight Bolden averaging 4.6. He has scored only 5 in the tournament this week. The Lions have an early 2-0 lead. Southeast and Sacred Heart Griffin play for the outright championship at 8 tonight. Good pass, Stevens, low to Church on the right side, and the layup ties the game.
I think Matt Reed would really like Obadiah Church to contribute something tonight.
Here's a 3 by Bishop off the left wing. That's good. Xavier Bishop hits the 3. Ball kicked loose out of bounds after the made basket, a brief timeout. And a 5-2 lead for Lanphier. That for Bishop, his 39th made 3. He by far leads the team in that category.
I bet you he has a big night tonight.
Here comes Stevens in on the left side for the Senators. Out front today, and now to Isaiah Nelson, the senior guard, who became eligible at the semester break. Crossover around Bolden. Beautiful no-look low to Stevens, but against defensive pressure, he shot it off the backboard and no good. Bolden gets the rebound. Austin to front court, gives to Tribbett on the right side. Senators matching up out of a zone defense. Left side to Bishop. Nelson comes out to extend an arm. And across the court to Tribbett. On the right side to Austin in front of the bouncing Springfield High student section. Into Tribbett. Lost it, got it back, gave it low left to Smith, who is fouled.
Stevens inside.
Marquis Smith had his shot roll off the rim, but he'll get a couple of staff carpet free throws and try to increase the 5-2 Lanphier lead.
Smith has not had a good city tournament.
Now, he's been very quiet, just 9 points combined in the first 2 games. He had only 2 Thursday night. Struggles a bit at the free throw line, although he rattles that one in. He is at 50% now on the season. This Lanphier team has really hurt themselves in some games this year with poor free throw shooting. 6-2 Lions, 6-16 in the first, and the second free throw for Smith is good. He's got an 8.3 average, and he, like Isaiah Nelson, missed the first semester of basketball this season. 7-2, Lanphier with a 5-point lead. Church, a right baseline jumper, no good from 15, rebounded by Smith. Lanphier has numbers. Bolden across half court, he makes like a point guard, takes it all the way underneath and lays it up and in with a beautiful scoop. Second basket for Bolden, and the Lions are out early to a 9-2 lead.
Boy, Springfield High doesn't want to get buried early for the 3rd night in a row. It's happened the first 2 nights of the city tournament.
And pressure broken. Stevens to forecourt right side. Across the court to Keon Day. And up top to Nelson. Nelson a crossover, but he can't get loose. Gives to Day. Over to Stevens right side. Good ball fake around Smith. Lost it going up. It's out of bounds. Touched last by Lanphier. In fact, Jim, the first time these teams played 6 weeks ago, you covered that game for the newspaper that night. It was 12-1 Lanphier before you could look up in that game.
Bunch of turnovers for Springfield that night again.
Nelson, a long 3, which is good off the right side. Isaiah Nelson. He's got 26 threes. Second high on the team to reserve Connor Jacobs, who does nothing but shoot threes when he does shoot. And it's 9-5 Lanphier. A pull-up 2 is no good for Bishop, rebounded by Smith. He missed, but Austin follows and puts it up and in. Austin had a big night last night with 26. He's in contention for this week's scoring title. He's got 35 right now, and it's 11-5 Lions, 3 minutes in. Keon Day to forecourt. On the left side to Stevens. Up top to Nelson. They leave him alone. 4-3. No good long. Long rebound on the baseline. Picked out of there by Austin. Dribbled off the back of his leg, but he picks it up and moves to forecourt. Lanphier heading to the east end to our left. Tribbett a left side 3. That's good.
That was too easy.
And timeout called by Matt Reed at the Senator bench. He's going to talk about just what Jim referred to, stepping up the defensive intensity. It's a 14-5 Lanphier lead. That was a 2 made by Tribbett. 4:34 to play first quarter, and we're back in half a minute.
Number 20, Scotty Wallace into the ball game for the Lanphier Lions.
Well, having given you a couple of options on that trivet shot, I should have stayed with selection A. It was, in fact, a 3.
Scotty Wallace in the game for Lanphier.
They usually bring in Jakari Mitchell when he comes in, but that's not the case here. So Lanphier has some bigs out there. Keon Day ahead to Avery Pearl, touching for the first time. Took it in on the left side. And a whistle and a foul.
No, I think.
Or is it just out of bounds?
Somebody knocked the ball out of his hands,
Yeah.
but whoever knocked it out of bounds was standing out of bounds.
And Dan Snodgrass was standing right in my field of vision.
And mine also.
He should know better than that. Come on, Dan. I don't care if you have been to the state tournament as an official.
You've been to as a broadcaster.
Yeah, just a few times. Nelson up and under, no good, missed, got his own rebound. He went right back on the pogo stick and put it up and in. Isaiah Nelson's got 5. He could have a big night tonight. Now the ball taken away by Stevens from Bishop. It's a 14-7 lead. Bishop comes back, deflects the ball away from Nelson and out of bounds in the Senator backcourt.
Yeah, you have more state tournaments under your belt than Danny Snodgrass.
Well, I think
Let
they
him know that.
I think the officials get capped at 3 unless, they're big shots like Ron Michelson and a couple of other guys. But Dan's had a terrific officiating career. Here's a steal by Jakari Mitchell, who did re-enter. He turns, gives it unselfishly to Austin, who blew the dunk. Austin should have just laid it up. Ball deflected out of bounds, and the Senators will get it back. That's not the first time we've seen Austin miss on a dunk attempt. He did not have much of a run-up that time.
He doesn't need much of a run-up usually, but he didn't have enough oomph that time.
Senator kids across from us having a little fun at Larry's expense. Stevens on the right side in forecourt, steps in for a 2 that's no good. Pearl had his hands on the rebound, and Austin grabbed his wrist and commits the foul.
Have we seen a successful dunk in the city tournament?
I thought Jalen Henry had one.
Yeah, he had
night.
one, but he's missed a couple too.
Okay. I'll say 33% on dunks.
Marquis Smith threw one down Thursday night, or was it last night?
I think it was Thursday.
All the nights start running together, don't
Yeah,
they?
they sure do.
Dalton Bolster into the game in the backcourt for the Senators. He's got the ball and will shoot a 2 just inside the arc, left side. That's good. Bolster set up by Church with a good pass. 14-9 Lanphier. 3:15 to go first quarter. Wallace into the lane, threw up a reckless shot from 10 feet. No good, rebounded by Smith. Gives to Austin. 8-footer in front of the rim is good. Second basket for Austin. A good pass by his teammate Smith. And a 16-9 Lanphier lead. 3 minutes to go first quarter in this third place game. Isaiah Nelson, front court to Stevens. Had Church under the basket, but took it himself, and it's swatted out of bounds by Wallace.
Church wanted the alley-oop. He was signaling for it, but Stevens thought that maybe he couldn't get it up there to him.
This for Rob Stevens will be his final city tournament game. He's had a nice athletic career in basketball and football at SHS.
How come he looks so much bigger in football, though?
Oh, boy, don't they all? They look like little kids sometimes when they take the pads off. Like the little kids they are, I guess. Stevens turns in front of the basket and misses with the right hand. The rebound is slammed up into the air where Bolster saves it in nicely. To Stevens, and now Nelson in the left corner. Little shake and bake move. He tries to get past Mitchell, really cannot. Over on the right side to Pearl, and up top into the hands of Isaiah Nelson. Nelson wants to hand to Bolster on the point. He's being hawked by Bishop, who knocks it loose. But Bolster retrieves, and backcourt comes back to the front court. Gives Pearl. Left side 3, no good for Avery. Rebounded by Stevens. He lost it. Picked out of there by Wallace. Good look up court. Got it to Austin, and this time he'll simply lay it up and in. Third basket for Austin. He has 6 tonight and 39 this week. And Lanphier has doubled up the Senators at 18-9 at the 2-minute mark of the first quarter. Stevens across the timeline right side, double teamed by Mitchell and Austin, turns away from the basket. Left of center to Dalston Bolster. Good baseball player is Bolster, and he had an outstanding season at receiver in the fall, catching passes from Brinton Wilkie. Almost lost his dribble. Over to Nelson, right of center. We've got some coaches behind us tonight, apparently. Nelson all the way down the lane. He got stuffed by Wallace as he got to the rim. And out of bounds it goes to SHS.
Connor Jacob comes into the lineup for Springfield, replacing Stevens, and Dwight Bolden back in, giving Marquis Smith a break.
About 90% of the shots attempted by Jacobs this year have been three-point shots. And he is dangerous from out there. Bolster's entry pass is stolen, and Mitchell heads back the other way. Gives to Austin, soars in around Jacobs and lays it up and in.
He got those NBA steps on that one, didn't he?
Another timeout called by Matt Reed. That's the second that he's used early. Lanphier has run out to a 20-9 lead. A minute 25 to play first quarter at the center. We're back in a minute.
$300.
Tim Schweitzer, Jim Rupert, Chris McLeod, Andrew J. Harvey, Kevin O'Day, Gary and Larry. Many others who have instructed us not to say their names on the radio tonight. All of them freeloading at their press table here in the city tournament. A steal by Austin on the inbounds pass. Put it up and in. He's already into double figures and he'll go to the line. And Jim, this is the same issue that Springfield High has had all season, and in particular that first meeting with Lanphier last month.
You get stuck with turnovers and you get stuck in runs, and turnovers usually turn into runs, and Jacobs is back to the bench. He was inbounding the ball and just didn't make a good pass, and so he goes to the bench, and Kamari Rowell comes in.
ROWL. Free throw for Austin is good. Larry's free throw percentage at 57. That's a staff carpet free throw, and a 23-9 Lions lead. They'll press. Ball inbounded to Balster, who was called for that last foul, by the way. Front court to Rowell, aggressively to the basket. Austin got a piece of the shot. No good. Rebounded by Mitchell. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Goes behind his back and lost the ball. Church hands off to Nelson. Senators head back the other way. Beautiful pass low right to Rowell, who put it up and in. Isaiah Nelson with a shovel pass about 20 feet in length. 23-11 Lions in the final minute of this third place game.
That ended a 9-0 run by Lanphier.
There's Bishop deep on the left side, guarded by Balster. Gets a screen from Austin. He's going to launch the three and got it. Boy, when Bishop gets out, he's got a great stroke from out there. His second three tonight. And it's a 26-point quarter, and Bishop has stolen the ball for the Lions, who are up 11. Bishop comes into the free throw line, turns it back with half a minute. Left side
Scotty.
to Wallace, a deep jumper. He made it. Scotty Wallace ignoring the protestations of press row, knocks it down from 15. 28-11, and another steal by Austin. Now to Bishop, a pull-up three, and that's good. That is 8 points in about half a minute for Lanphier, and it's 31-11 with 10 seconds. Balster, a right side two is good. That stems the tide briefly. 3 seconds to play in the quarter. 31-13 from backcourt. Bishop got it off in time. Off the backboard, just a little too high. Now the Senators were harassed, and Lanphier turned that into some easy baskets in the final minute. They scored 31 points in that quarter, and they lead at the end of one, 31-13. Back in a minute.
Into the ball game for the Lanphier Lions, 22, DeAndre Alexander.
How are you? Good. Mike. Mike. See if we've learned anything.
Springfield High will have possession to begin the second quarter.
Jim Rupert, John Levin, Tim Schweitzer back at the city tournament. Game one on day number 3. Lanphier shot 61% in the first half, leads 21-13. 9 points for Bishop. Larry Austin's 9 points for Larry Austin. I thought he had more than that.
Yeah, I've got him with 11, Jim, so we'll double check. And now on a steal by Austin. It is a 31-13 Lanphier lead. Austin ahead to Marquis Smith, who's back on for the left side layup, and the onslaught continues. It's a 20-point Lions lead. They have come out ready to play tonight. The Senators just can't handle this pressure. A steal by Bolden in backcourt now. A takeaway by Stevens, though, to prevent another Lanphier basket. 33-13 Lanphier. Pass low to Keon Day in backcourt. He got bailed out. A reach-in foul by Bolden.
You know what? They don't care. They're deep. They play a lot of guys. They're aggressive. That's what they like. Go get it.
Yeah, Lanphier and Southeast really have the same strategy, which is to generate some offense with steals. They get up on you, they bump you, and you're right, they've got some guys with fouls to give. That's just the second foul on the Lions this half. Veteran officiating crew of Engel, Snodgrass, and Ponnell have done an outstanding job keeping up with this game. Pearl, a left side three, no good long. Rebounded for Lanphier by reserve guard DeAndre Alexander. Austin, a no-look pass, low left to Bolden, a beautiful reverse layup. He double clutched, went from the left side of the rim to the right, and scooped it up and in. 6 for Bolden, far and away his best night of the tournament, 35-13. Now the Senators run. This game has an NBA pace, and they get a layup for Rob Stevens in the middle of the fast break. Not much defense being played either way right now. Here comes Tribbett angling in right side. He lost the ball, got it back, top of the key. Bolden's going to try a three, and he left that just short. The rebound pulled out of there by Pearl. 6.5 to go, second quarter. A relaxed atmosphere in this third place game, and the kids are having fun. Lanphier having much more of the fun, up by a 35-15 count. Lanphier now back in his zone. Pearl on the left side, out to Day. Dribbles to the center of the floor. Gets right side to Nelson, back to Keon Day on the arc right side. Shovels it low to Stevens. He spins around in on Smith, got him up in the air, drew the foul, and put it up and in. Nice move by Stevens, about 2 or 3 ball fakes in the middle of that. He got Marquis Smith off his feet. That'll be the first on Smith. Austin will take a breather here for Bishop.
Stevens missed the first 4 shots he tried, but now he's made 2 straight. Goes for the three-point play.
Stevens has 4 tonight and 22 in the tournament. Avery Pearl had a total of 22 through the first 2 nights. He hasn't scored tonight. The staff carpet free throw for Stevens, who struggles at the line, is no good long. Rebounded by Bolden. Lanphier to forecourt, up 35-17, 2 minutes into the second quarter. Alexander deep on the left side, up top to Bishop, who's already hit 3 threes tonight, bodied by Nelson. Left side Alexander, out to Bishop, spins around Nelson, who backtracks to get him, and then a travel is called as Bishop ran over the knee of Obadiah Church, but he had taken an extra step before the contact. 5:48 to go. The Lions will put on the press. In the middle and backcourt is Stevens. He dribbles across the timeline left wing, bounces under the basket, past Obadiah Church, and out of bounds to Lanphier.
Well, Church has been calling for it on that break against the pressure. And that time they threw it to him, and he wasn't able to come up with it.
Austin back into the game for Lanphier. You and I are both in agreement he has 11 points, right, Jim? Yeah, Tim said,
because they're 2 points short on their box
oh,
score
there
in
you
the
go.
first half.
We'll get that
That's what it is.
taken care of at halftime.
Yeah.
Xavier Bishop has the ball. He's going to try another 3 off the left wing. That's his 4th of the night. Herman Senor had 4 Thursday night. Xavier Bishop's got 4 at the 5:25 mark of the first half.
City tournament record 7.
That was back in '94, set by Darren Lucas. Now an assistant at SHG, and Drew Cheney later that same night. Nelson misses a 10-foot floater, 38-17, and now 40. Austin the assist, Alexander the basket from left of the rim. And the Lions are putting on a show tonight, up by 23. Just under 5 minutes to play first half. They are on a 100-point pace. Backing it out is Nelson. Over to Stevens' right side. Bumped by Alexander, who's called for the block foul on the perimeter. Jim mentioned earlier this week that the single-game city tournament record for a team is 98. I would imagine Lanphier is going to back off the gas in the second half of the game, and they won't challenge that. That was the 1996 Lanphier team. But at the moment,
that was a pretty good Lanphier team, too.
Oh, yeah. 40-17 is the lead right now with 4:48 left in the first half. And it comes to Balster, who's back on.
Darius Milliken in the game, too, for Lanphier now, John.
Balster
Ryan
gives it up
Dorr.
to Ryan Dorr, the athletic director's son, Gary's son, over at Springfield High. Here's a bad pass thrown by Church. Picked off, and Milliken will jam it through at the other end. Darius Milliken's first basket all week is done with style. And it's 42-17. Nelson, a fading three off the right side, no good. Rebound off Dorr's hands, picked up by Church. He missed left of the rim. Lions just really enjoying themselves here. Nothing to stop this onslaught. A step under on the left side and a layup with the left hand for Marquis Smith. And a 27-point Lanphier lead at 44-17. It's a little late for them to be making a point, but as it is in this third place game, they're up by 27. Across the court, Balster, a left side three, no good. Rebounded by Dorr with one free hand. Out to his teammate Balster, take away Austin. Ball to the court, recovered by the Senators. Balston with a beautiful feed, low to Church, and he's got a jam. Well, the Senators students have not lost their enthusiasm despite the fact their team is down 25 even off that made stuff. 44-19 as they make some noise in the corner opposite us. Milliken to Smith on the baseline, gallops in, uses the left hand and scores in front of the rim. Marquis Smith has 8, and it's 46-19. Still 3:15 to go first half.
This one hasn't exactly been a procedural endeavor for defense.
No, neither team really playing much. Here's a 5-second call, though, on Balster. Lanphier's just trying to reach in, get a takeaway, and head back to the other end, get 2 more points.
Avery Pearl back in for Ryan Dorr.
3:07 to go. We're going to have a big crowd here tonight, but it is not going to be a sellout. There's plenty of room for you. And it should be a terrific championship game at 8 o'clock between SHG and Southeast. Here's Tribbett calling his own number, going up and under, getting to the basket, and he'll go to the line. And there's not much in terms of the half-court offenses being run either. It's just a lot of clear out, and now it's my turn to try to score.
Yeah, we've seen layups, we've seen threes. We haven't seen much in between.
Couple of dunks, one at each end. Stevens called for his second foul. Tribbett, a 67% free throw shooter. And the first of 2 is good. He has 4 on the night. 14 this week for Tribbett, the sophomore who's averaging 5-3. Balster departs. Keon Day comes on for the Senators, and it is 47-19 Lanphier. 2:57 to go first half. Jordan Tribbett with an orange t-shirt under his orange jersey hits the free throw. Lanphier has made all 4 of their staff carpet free throws tonight, and timeout called by Blake Turner at the Lanphier bench. 48-19 Lions. We'll take a 30-second timeout and be right back to the center.
Don't forget to purchase your 50-50 ticket. Drawing will be halftime of the championship contest. $1 apiece, or you get 10 for $5. Latest word we have, guaranteed $300 to the winner.
Robert Stevens has not been the most skilled free throw shooter this year, but he's going to get a couple of free shots here with 2:45 left in the half at the west basket.
And the first one is on the way and good for Stevens.
How was that pretzel you had from the concession stand?
It was coming up just a moment ago.
See, tasting it again.
This is what happens when you work with somebody for almost 3 decades, though. You just look at them and they know that I've got to turn my microphone down to hack up a lawn, and Tim was right there. Stevens rims in the second free throw, 48-21. His team down
I'm glad
27.
I could be a party to all that.
Yeah.
That was
At least I didn't hack up the line. And down it goes to Wallace. He dropped the ball on the entry pass. A rare Lanphier turnover.
Number 6.
Senators back the other way. 2:30 to go first half. They've been thoroughly dominated, down 48-21. Tough year for SHS. You really have to feel for the kids and the coaching staff. I know they weren't expecting to be a big factor in the conference race, but I don't think anybody saw this year coming this bad.
No way.
Pearl gets a good entry pass from Church. He's fouled right at the basket. He was strong with the ball, put it up and in, and he's got a chance for the three-point play.
Austin, foul number 2.
Avery Pearl had been the leading scorer this week for the Senators. He's got a 9.1 average on the season. 73% foul shooter. That is his first bucket of the night. The free throw no good, but Stevens, who's working hard, grabs the rebound, got up in the air and then threw it away. Right into the hands of Bishop. Ahead to Austin. Hop, skip, and a jump to the basket. Put it up no good from right of the rim. Rebounded by Wallace. Babies it up, but no good. He had it roll back on his hands. Then he complains that he didn't get a foul call, but you got to finish that.
Why did he dribble it after he caught it?
Nelson goes down to the other end and travels, coming in on the left side. I think Wallace just had the ball rolled back in his hand there. He had an easy layup. As it is, Lanphier forcing another Senator turnover, has a 25-point lead, 48-23.
Well, the stats have 10 turnovers. I have 12 for Springfield High.
Top of the key, Bishop, another three. This one's no good. Bolton taps out the rebound. Wallace had it but lost his balance. Pearl goes down to the court. Ball out of bounds. I believe Austin was the one who had possession of the ball. That is the call. And the Senators will get it out of bounds.
First miss for Bishop from three-point range.
Yeah, Bishop had made his first four. And timeout called by Lanphier. It's a 30-second timeout, 1:35 to play second quarter. The Lions in control, 48-23. Back in half a minute.
Back of the center, 1:35 to go in the half. Dominating performance for Lanphier in this city tournament third place game. Lions up by 25, headed toward halftime.
Sacred Heart Griffin and Southeast will play for the outright city championship in the 8 p.m. game. Chris McLeod will join us for the call of that game. Senators break the press. Nelson to forecourt, right down the middle. Swings it over on the right side. Intended a pass for Jacobs. Good hustle by Tribbett to come back and knock it out of bounds.
Tribbett played 94 feet that time because he was back on the ball, ran all the way back and got a hand on it and knocked it out of bounds.
We see Stefan Wade on the floor for the first time tonight. He gives a smack of the hand to Austin, who's had a nice half, and departs. Wade is a 5'10 junior, and he has played pretty well off the bench for Lanphier this week. 1:25 to go first half. Keon Day head of the key. Tough catch for Nelson on a pass that was thrown very hard in close quarters. Nelson backs it out, bouncing on the right side dribble, now top of the key. Outside right to Jacobs, covered well, gives to Day, steps into a two-point jumper that's in and out, no good, tough break on that. Rebounded by Wade, Lanphier looking for a 50-point half. He's sitting on 48 with 1:02. Tribbett slides in, floats it up and got it to go, coming in on the right side.
Jordan Tribbett's going to be a good player.
He's got 7 tonight, 50-23. Final minute first half, a free throw line jumper for Day is no good, and Bolden has the rebound for the Lions. Outlets to Tribbett, who is across the timeline. Lanphier lost by 19 to Sacred Heart Griffin Thursday, by 5 to Southeast last night. They're up 27 at the moment. Tribbett lost his balance and the ball. Day with the takeaway, gives to Pearl, 3-on-1. Pearl bounces low right, Jacobs laid it up and in. Nice assist by Pearl. He could have been selfish there, but he was not. 50-25. The Lions have a 25-point advantage, and they'll hold for one shot with 18 seconds.
There's your 1 out of 10 that Jacobs didn't shoot a three.
That's right. He has taken over 100 threes this year, 110 three-point shots. Here's Bishop driving like mad to the basket on the right side. Looked for a foul call, didn't get it. Shot blocked cleanly, and the first half comes to an end before Nelson can fire off a shot over the backboard from half court. So Lanphier, which led 31-13 after the first quarter, has a 50-25 halftime lead in this third place game. With Southeast and Sacred Heart Griffin on deck for the outright championship, the Cyclones looking for their first outright city title since 1973 back at the Armory. Zeno Davis on the board for the final night of the 2013 City Basketball Tournament. Don't believe what you may have read elsewhere. This is the 65th edition of the City Tournament that began back in 1949. They're playing the final night of the County Market Tournament in Chatham. Lincoln beat Rochester in the morning session, 71-52. Glenwood survived a scare, got past Highland in the early afternoon in overtime, 67-62, and Jacksonville beat Taylorville 52-37. Jacksonville plays Lincoln at 8 tonight in the championship game of the tournament in Chatham. Lanphier basketball, Smith lost his balance. Austin picked it up, left of the basket and missed from in tight. And Obadiah Church with the rebound for SHS. That's just a great name. You almost feel compelled to say both the first name and the last name when he has his hands on the ball. Ryan Dorr starts the second half on the floor for the Senators. Stevens out there with Church, Nelson, and Pearl. Church on the right side perimeter, over to the red-headed Dorr. Dorr picked up by Xavier Bishop in a battle of players wearing uniform number 5. Over to Isaiah Nelson on the left wing, and right of center Dorr. Senators taking their time. Now Pearl right baseline, spins Austin back to the basket. Shot up no good. Pearl got his own rebound, lost it going up. Take away by Smith, and Lanphier heads back to the west end. Austin, a beautiful bounce pass, low to Smith. He bobbled it, regained control from left of the rim and put it up and in. Smith is the third Lion to double figures. He's got 10 tonight. And it's 52-25 Lanphier with 6:47 left to go third quarter. This is the game for third place. Championship game later tonight. Steal by Smith, over to Bishop, a right side three, no good. Rebounded by Tribbett, he spins left of the basket, lost it. And a takeaway as it popped into the hands of Church for the Senators. Long pass up court to Stevens, who caught it like the tight end he was during the football season. Backs it out to Nelson on the perimeter, behind his back on the dribble. Austin left him, so he'll pop an open three and miss. Austin has the rebound, starts a 3-on-1, fakes the pass, takes it himself, scoops it up and in with the right hand. 13 for Austin tonight. He's in contention for the city tournament scoring crown. He has 46. Herman Senor will start the night with 35 coming into the title game tonight. 54-25. Lanphier by 29, and a pass is broken up by a Lion defender just across midcourt, knocked out of bounds.
Dalton Balster, Connor Jacobs back in the game. Pearl and Dorr sit.
And Nelson has the ball, bouncing at the high post right, wide on the left side to Stevens. Stevens has a white Under Armour shirt under his jersey, over to Jacobs. There's that three-point basket that is his specialty, but it doesn't go in. Smith taps the rebound to Little Bishop, and Lanphier flies the other way. Bishop stops at the free throw line, shovels to Austin. A three-point attempt is good. 16 for Austin. His 8th made three of the year. He's down in the low 20s in terms of percentage, and he'd really like to extend range on his jump shot and get more consistency in it as he progresses through his high school career. 57-25, this is the biggest lead for Lanphier tonight. 5:18 to go. Jacobs from right of center, missed a three off the front of the rim, rebounded by Smith. He's making like a point guard, did that well until the very end, and then he had to go off his foot and out of bounds. They may change that call. Dan Snodgrass, the out official, had a better look, and they will give it to Lanphier.
Yeah, Smith was going to go all the way on that one, take that one coast to coast, and somebody got a hand in it.
He's a talented kid, isn't he, Jim?
Oh, he really is. He's good size and catches the ball well. Good addition for the Lions.
He had a quiet week at the tournament, but he made an immediate impact when he joined the team. He was one of the big reasons they won the tournament at Pekin at Christmas time. Now Tribbett out near midcourt, 5 minutes to go, third quarter. Lanphier 57, the Senators 25. Tribbett at the head of the key. Over on the right wing to Bishop. Got a screen. Starts left, then back right. He's double teamed. Gives to Smith from 17 from straight out front. No good long. And Church skies for the rebound for the Senators.
Really good inside position there by Church.
Church is 6'6", and he looks like he's going to be a nice player for the next couple of years after this. Ballster head of the key. Left side perimeter to Stevens. He's in his final city tournament game. And Rob backs it out. Gives it up to Nelson head of the key. And now over to Ballster right of center. Picked up by Bishop. Bad pass on the side. Austin intercepted. He's going to race past Ballster, who gave up the foul to prevent a layup. That was a good idea by Ballster after the steal by Austin. He fouled him quickly enough that it will be a common foul.
It's just the 4th foul against the Senators all night.
Lanphier's gone past him so fast they haven't had a chance to foul him.
Matt Reed will tell you that it's hard to foul guys that are in front of you that far.
Yeah. 4:21 to go third quarter. Austin gets it in, throws it over the head of Bishop off his hands, but he runs it down, gave to Tribbett off his knee, though. Out near midcourt, Church with good hustle went down to the court and came up with the ball, getting it ahead to Ballster. A deep three for Nelson is good off the right side.
That's a good sequence there for Springfield High.
Yeah, very good hustle. When you see a sophomore get down on the court like that, and his team is down 32, now 29 with that made three. 57-28. That's just a good sign to see a kid work like that when you've had a tough season, a tough week, and a tough night. Austin head of the key. Tried to get a little fancy with the right side pass to Bolden, picked off. Senators back the other way. Nelson gives it to the cutter. Jacobs coming in on the right side. That's good. Nice assist for Nelson. Jacobs the basket. 57-30 Lanphier. 3.5 left in the third. There's Bishop trying a left side three. That's 5. Made 3. 15 for Bishop, all coming from the three-point line. He's 2 off the city tournament record. 60-30, Lanphier by exactly 30. There's Stevens teeing up a 3 off the left wing, and that's good. First made 3 of the night for Stevens, who has scored 9 to lead the Senators. 60-33 Lions. 3 minutes to go, third quarter. And at the top of the key, it's Bishop. He's going to shoot a straight on 3. That's good. He's 1 off the record. Bishop right in the face of Ballster. Hits his 6th 3 of the night. 63-33. Now an alley-oop, and it's missed by Church, who mistimed his steps off the feed by Jacobs. Lanphier back the other way. This is like an NBA All-Star game. In the lane, Bolden lost it, got it back, put it up and in. Anybody playing defense, or has that concept been shelved for the night?
Well, they're resting from offense is what they're doing.
You got it. 65-33, Lanphier by 32. 2:24 to play third quarter. Nelson on the right side, one-on-one move, took it past Bolden, got to the rim, put it up and in, and drew the foul.
But they are an equal opportunity lack of defense. Both sides are doing it.
Yeah, I think the first quarter when it was 31-13 after 8 minutes, that was the signal.
Yeah.
Teams kind of had the high sign that they could relax and have some fun, and they're taking advantage of that. Bolden called for his second foul. Isaiah Nelson has 10 and 29 this week. Staff carpet free throw coming up. First free throw for either team this quarter. Off the front of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Jakari Mitchell, who was re-entered for Lanphier. Bishop, long pass ahead, intended for Scotty Wallace, who's back on. Broken up by Church. Under the basket at the opposite end, out of bounds to Lanphier.
Yeah, Lanphier brought 4 in during that free throw. Milliken is in, Alexander in, Wallace, and Mitchell to stay out there with Bishop, and I think they want to get Bishop that record.
He is 1 off the three-point record held by Drew Chaney and Darren Lucas. Good pass on the inbounds from Bishop to Milliken. He ducked under a defender and laid it up and in from the right side. We use the term defender there loosely. 67-35, Lanphier by 32. Here's Stevens falling down, losing it at midcourt. Bishop, a long bounce pass ahead. Milliken got too close to the rim and blew the bunny. Rebounded by the Senators. Jacobs flies in off the left side, got to the rim and scored. Connor Jacobs has 3 twos tonight. That might be the first time all year that's happened. 67-37, the three-point specialist with, I guess you would call it 6 the hard way in his case. Usually when he's got 6, it's 2 made threes. Here's the curl by Jakari Mitchell. Good bounce pass low to Milliken, but the shot stuffed by Church. Rebounded by Mitchell, up and under. Scooped it up, no good on a circus shot, and Church has the rebound. Throws the outlet pass away. Intercepted by Alexander, out front to Mitchell for the Lions in the final minute 15 of the third. First time this week Lanphier has had reason to smile, and they're up 67-37 as Blake Turner in a dark suit kneels to coach at the Lanphier bench. I was going to say dark blue suit, but I'm colorblind. It's either blue or gray. Ball deflected out of bounds by the Senators right in front of the Lanphier bench. What do you think, Jim?
Black.
Okay. Well, he's got that orange tie on.
Yeah.
I think that's the one he had on Thursday night that his little girl picked out for him. And she made a good choice. That's a good-looking tie. Scotty Wallace at the high post left crossover and a jumper on Church. No good. Tipped by Wade over the rim. Rebounded by Milliken. He went up and lost it. Wade fires it out of bounds at the Lanphier bench. See if it was deflected. The officials will confirm. Up, they're going to give it to the Senators. 50 seconds to play in the third quarter. 67-37, Lanphier. This
Church needs to get out of there. He's causing more.
Yeah, he brought a defender out with him as he was setting a screen at the head of the key. Senators turned it over anyway. Fast break the other way. Banked up and in on a good feed by Milliken. Alexander gets the basket. 69-37, half a minute to go. Lanphier still pressing a bit in the backcourt. I don't think they'll continue to do that in the fourth quarter of this game.
Well, if you're doing it with subs, is it okay?
Up 32, no. I'd say no. There's another takeaway from Day. Bounce pass ahead to Mitchell with 10. Hugged and fouled, intentional foul. And
that's
Connor Jacobs got a little bit too boisterous as he fouled Mitchell.
Yeah. Just make a swipe at the ball. Don't put a hug on the guy. It's going to be intentional, so Jakari Mitchell will get 2 free throws in possession for Lanphier.
Jakari Mitchell has made the rounds in the CSA. Lanphier is third high school in the conference. 5'10" junior. Scored 8 off the bench on Thursday night. Was scoreless last night. Staff carpet free throw is good. Lions have made all 6 of their free throws tonight. They have 9 different players who have scored in this game. And they have hit 70 through 3 quarters. And now 71. And they'll inbound the ball with 9.8 seconds. 2 for 2 on that trip for Mitchell, 71-37. And Lanphier will inbound on the baseline, left side. After an extended look, dump it into the corner to Wade, cut off by Jacobs, backs it out with 4. He looks up at the clock and fires a 3 that is well under the rim, no good. And the third quarter comes to an end. Lanphier by 34 in the third place game, 71-37 on SHS. Back in a minute.
Springfield High will have possession to begin the fourth quarter.
Steak and Shake, the title sponsor of the Sports Radio 1450 coverage of the 2013 City Basketball Tournament. We thank the folks at Steak and Shake for joining us and helping bring these games to you over the radio. Chris McLeod will call the championship game tonight with Tim Schweitzer. Jim is covering the game for the newspaper tonight.
Early deadline. I'll be writing my story as the game's going on.
71-37. Yeah, you need a triple overtime game, don't you? Is that what you're rooting for? Here's Jacobs missing a 3. Rowell grabs the rebound right of the basket, draws the foul. And has a chance for the three-point play as he put it up and in.
No, I need this one to get over as fast as it can, and then I need the next one to start as soon as it can and to flow very smoothly. No fouls the whole game.
Rowell's free throw, sponsored by Staff Carpet Cummings, 71-39 Lanphier. The free throw is good. In Chatham in the early night game, it was Highland over Rochester for 5th place, 45-43. We thank Ryan Mahan of the Journal-Register for that information. Three-point play for Rowell makes it 71-40 here. Lanphier dominating. Mitchell skips down the lane. Good feed right to the rim to Wallace, who laid it up and in. Mitchell the assist, Wallace the basket, and a 33-point Lions lead. 73-40, 7-18. Jacobs from the high post left. A jumper is good. This is going to develop for Connor Jacobs perhaps a new strategy. Everything inside the arc. He's made 4 twos tonight. Austin got clobbered as he headed back the other way with the Lions up 73-42. And 7:07 on the clock. With this win, the Lions will break a 3-game losing streak, move to 11-8. They're 5-5 in the conference. And the Senators will fall to 1-18 and 1-9. Austin to inbound, right baseline into Marquise Smith, who's back on. Up top to Mitchell, right side to Austin, who has scored 16. Shut down by Jacobs on the baseline, out to Mitchell. Now Bishop, he's got 6 threes, one off the record. Backs it out on the dribble, takeaway by Bolster. Bishop went to the floor but couldn't retrieve it. The Senators run. Rowell catches a deflected pass, has to fade on the 6-footer as Austin defended well. The shot is no good. And Austin has the rebound for the Lions. 6:35 to go. Austin spins right to the basket, got up in the air, tried to pass the ball, and Jacobs knocked it out of bounds.
Isaiah Nelson comes back in. Connor Jacobs goes to the bench for Springfield High.
Going to have an outstanding crowd tonight, but again, we don't want to scare anybody off. Plenty of room for everybody. In it comes to Smith, and that's an easy layup from left of the basket. Austin fed Smith, who was almost unguarded. 75-42, Lions by 33 with just over 6:20 to go in the game. Stevens headed a key, little shove off on Mitchell that went undetected, or at least uncalled. Rowell at the head of the circle, dribbles right, gives to Stevens, thought about a 3, circles his dribble into the paint and throws it away. Tried to hit Pearl under the basket right side, but missed connections. Lions inbound. Again, Xavier Bishop, the 5'7" freshman, has hit 6 threes in this game. That is one off the tournament record, set on the same night by Darren Lucas and Drew Cheney back in '94. Spin by Austin, gives to Smith in the paint, up and in.
Well, he's a force when he does that.
He's got 14, and timeout called at the Lanphier bench. 77-42, they're having fun at the Senators' expense tonight. 5:51 to go, 4th quarter. We're back in a minute.
32, Gray lost at 23 in the ball game for the Lanphier Lions.
Championship game of the Girls County Classic will take place in about 45 minutes, maybe an hour in Pawnee tonight. Williamsville and Riverton. Riverton the top seed there. They have played all week in the Pawnee gym. That tournament started actually last Saturday. Ryan Dorr back into the game, will bury a 3 off the left wing. Ryan Dorr, the senior guard, 5'9" left-hander, hit it from the corner. 77-44, the Lions by 33. Mitchell head of the key. Out to Stephon Wade. We should report that Xavier Bishop and his 6 threes are on the bench at the moment, maybe for the rest of the night.
Yeah, I would be surprised if he's back in.
Here's Wade driving in, losing the ball, takeaway by Stevens, who's been pretty good tonight. Stevens back the other way for the Senators, pulls it out on the right side. Left wing pass to Nelson. Over to Dorr. Lions in a zone. Nelson, right side, Bolster. An invitation to shoot the three. Skips off the rim, no good. Offensive rebound collected there by Avery Pearl, and he'll go to the line.
Pearl got up that time for that rebound.
6-foot senior. He plays typically on the forward position for the Senators. Jakari Mitchell called for his second foul. And for Avery Pearl, a pair of staff carpet free throws, the first of which is good. Pearl has 3 tonight and 25 this week. Nelson leads the Senators at the moment with 29 points in the tournament. Isaiah Nelson has 10 tonight. Stevens has 9 this evening and 27 on the week. Second free throw for Pearl is good. And it's a 30-point Lions lead, 77-47 with 4:48. Mitchell walks it up on the left side. Stevens flashes out to get him, taps the ball into the backcourt, and they'll say that Mitchell, in fact, was last to touch it, so it's an over and back.
I thought Stevens came in and poked it myself, but Danny Snodgrass right there. He knows what happened.
Bob Engel has to retrieve the basketball, which had been deflected beyond the scorer's table opposite us. In comes a bad pass right into the hands of Mitchell. He'll fly to the other end, scoop it up and in, and draw the foul on Bolster. Mitchell came in from the left side, reversed to the right. Got it to go, and Bolster fouled him. A chance for the three-point play. This will be the biggest point total of the season for the Lions. They average 59, and they're already 20 above that. Jakari Mitchell's first field goal. He averages 3.4 points off the bench. Free throw in and out. It stays out. Josiah Gordon rebounds and misses from right of the rim. This rebound, though, collected by the Lions. Ray Lofton picked it up, gives to Gordon, and Gordon drives in and is called for the charge. He knocked down Stevens. First time these teams met, it was a 12-1 Lanphier lead at the start of the game. And a 77-64 Lions win. We have not, as yet, had an upset based on seeds in this city tournament.
That's how the county tournament went, too.
Yep, they just had one on the last night, and that was a kind of a technicality. The 8 beat the 7, but the 8 seed was only the 8 seed because their coach couldn't make it to the seed meeting. Yeah, that one went pretty much according to form as Plains won their third straight. Senators turned it over on a bad pass on the sideline. They go deep off the bench with German exchange student Josh Gretschel into the game for them. And now Wade up in the air has the ball stripped from him. A Rowell layup at the other end is good. 7 for Rowell, 5 of which have come in this fourth quarter. 79-49, we're at the 4-minute mark. Lions by 30. Mitchell across the timeline. Neither team close to the bonus, and that's how it ought to be in a game like this. Out it comes to Charles Roberts, the 6'3 senior who ended the football season as Lanphier's quarterback, starting quarterback. Stephon Wade at the head of the key. Around Dorr left side, get up in the air. Gretschel got his hands on the ball and forced to travel with a good defensive play.
John, this is probably a good time since we're at 7:03, and this game is going to be over here pretty quick. If folks are in the drive-up lane at Sonic or Steak and Shake, thinking they've got till 8 o'clock to get here, they might want to step it up because they won't wait till 8 o'clock to start the next game.
It's good advice. And again, plenty of places for you here. It's going to take a little extra time to get in here because of security. Jacobs missing a 3 off the left side, rebounded by Wade. You got a beautiful night if you have to walk a few blocks to get here. Foul called on the Senators after Wade got the rebound at backcourt.
Tim covered his tracks pretty well too there when he started out with the wrong place where they're in the drive-up
I was
lane.
thinking Wabash, and I said, wait a minute, Steak and Shake's got drive-through too. That's right. Steak and Shake, Sonic, doesn't matter where you go, but we prefer you go to Steak and Shake tonight since they're sponsoring the broadcast, and their food's really good.
Here's Wade from 17 off the left side, no good. Gordon fell down trying to corral the rebound. Jacobs has it, and a reach-in foul on Lanphier. Yeah, if you want us to push your restaurant, you got to write the check, man.
Steak and Shake drive-through, eat in. They don't roller skate out to your car, but They'll take care of you. Steak burger.
Can you still
chili
take home a
mac,
sack from
take
Steak and
home a
Shake?
sack?
Okay.
Absolutely. Steak and Shake.
So the standards during game broadcasts are a little higher than during morning radio shows then, huh?
There are very few standards on either, but yeah. Keontae head of the key. Freshman guarded by Jakari Mitchell. A tap away and a steal by Mitchell. Rowell chases him, and Mitchell missed the layup. Got his own rebound off a tap from Lofton, and timeout called with 2:40 to play. What have we got here? Oh, goodness, we've got Keontae grabbing his head back at the other end. I had diverted my attention to the opposite end of the court, but he must have hit his end on the court. And Matt Reed and the Senator trainer come out to assist the freshman guard Keontae, who's in a lot of pain out there, and they cradle the top of his head. Well, that certainly is the last thing you want to see in any game, but got a 30-point score here with 2:40 to play. And Keontae, who lost the basketball, headed towards the basket to our left at the east end. Now he's to his feet, and he'll get a nice hand from the big Senator crowd. He's doubled over and still holding the back of his head, so they need to get him checked out.
He's going right to the locker room.
Yeah. Well, they were quick to get out and tend to Keontae, and we'll hope for the best for the young man.
Yeah, well, they couldn't stop it when Mitchell was going for the layup, but once Mitchell missed the layup, got his own rebound, Bobby Engel blew it dead.
And it comes to Stephon Wade. He floats up a shot with a lot of contact. Tough to get a whistle at this point of the game, and he airballed it. Rebounded by Rowell for the Senators. Hustles to forecourt with two teammates on opposite sides. Lost the basketball. Out of bounds touch last, though, by Gordon of Lanphier. 2:28 to go. Tim, we've got a couple of big conference games coming up for people next weekend, right?
Friday night, Lincoln at SHG. Saturday night, Southeast at Lincoln.
Dalton Bolster hits a three off the right side off the inbounds pass. Lincoln has a big one tonight for the County Market Tournament title in Chatham against Jacksonville. That game not only to determine the tournament championship, but that could have a big impact on the outcome of the conference. A missed shot, but a rebound by Wade and a basket left of the rim for Lanphier. They lead 81-52.
Hey guys, Zach Kirker on Sports Radio 1450 on the website's reporting Stan Musial has died.
And driving hard to the basket, Connor Jacobs laying it up and in for SHS. Yeah, he had been really battling some ill health in recent years, and gosh, I'm trying to think, I don't think he quite made 90, did he?
I think
He's 92.
Yeah,
Is that right?
yeah.
So he's older than Red Shanedunes, who's going to turn 90 here a little bit later.
Red is 90 on Groundhog's Day,
There you
February
go.
2nd.
February 2nd. 81-54 is our score here.
Yeah, Stan was 92.
All right. Channel1450.com, Zach Kirker providing that information, which we're sorry to hear, but Stan Musial had really been suffering the last few years. Here's Rowell driving in and putting it up and in from right in front of the basket. 81-56.
was there for opening day.
1:23 to go, fourth quarter. Yeah, and it still gets the biggest ovation of anybody. And, especially now with Albert out in Anaheim, Stan Musial is going to be known as Mr. Cardinal for a long time.
Forever.
Yeah. If Jim's favorite, Tony La Russa, doesn't get that designation at some point.
I think Tony La Russa was a great manager.
Alexander misses from left of the basket. A rebound basket for Stephon Wade. He's got 4. 83-56. Lions by 27.
You mistake me for the old Monday host of the press box.
Here's Bolster launching a three off the left side. No good. Rebounded by Charles Roberts. I would never do that to you.
Thank you.
Lanphier throws it away. Half a minute to go. Senators back the other way. Good feed by Bolster to Rowell. He's had a big fourth quarter. Rowell banks it up, and then he's did double figures with that hoop. He has 11 points, 9 of them coming in the fourth quarter.
He may get a free Subway meal. They're also a sponsor, by the way. Subway, eat fresh.
I'll leave that in your capable hands, Tim. I'm going to head to Pawnee here in 13 seconds. 83-58. Lions by 25. They play a little keep away on the dribble. They'll dribble out the clock and take home third place. They beat the Senators by 25, the final in this third place game, 83-58.
We'll take a 2-minute timeout, be back with post-game, and get you set for the big game. Southeast Sacred Heart Griffin championship game of the city tournament. Stay tuned. Final in this one, 83-58 Lanphier over Springfield High.